Like, who is walking over on me? I left my government job. I was like, yeah, very much desperate to get up out of here. I got into a terrible car accident. I am moving. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you are new. Today's video is gonna be a little different from what I usually do, a little more personal. Yeah, so this video is gonna be a life update, basically the last year in review of my life, because I want to share some news with you. So in order to do that, I feel like, I don't know, I need to express how my husband won, just for emphasis on what this new journey and new chapter means to me that I'm gonna be sharing. So, woo child. Where do I start? So my life for the past year has been kind of crazy, kind of tumultuous, kind of all over the place, very much stressful. So a year ago or so, maybe a little more than a year, I was really praying for something in particular, and that something is to get a new job. That was the catalyst to kickstart, you know, some other things that I wanted to achieve to be where I am today. A year ago or so, I left my job. I left my government job. And if you're Trini, I don't know if this is like a Caribbean thing all around, but if you're Trini, I know some people are gonna be like, what? Girl, what? You had your good government work, as they like to say, and you left that? Yeah, I did. I needed to. Like, the environment was toxic. Very toxic. The way the public sector is set up in Trinidad, there's very little to no room for growth because they run their affairs based on seniority, and I was only there for like not a senior amount of time, I won't specify, but yeah, so like my potential to get like a promotion, upward mobility, to make more money. Oh, let's not talk about the money. The money was, obviously it's not exactly minimum wage in Trinidad, but it was also not where I needed to be financially to achieve the goals I wanted to achieve. So I just felt like, for one, I didn't belong there. The culture of the place, so many things I could talk about, but I won't go into too much detail. I just needed to leave to advance myself. As I said, I didn't belong in that environment, so it was so stifling in every way. I applied to the job that I have now. I did an interview, did terribly at the interview. It was like me in a room with like 3 people, a small room, so it's like me here, they right there, and I don't know, I was just nervous for the interview, so I tried my best, but I don't think I answered the questions best, and I was like nervous, kind of shaking. It's something you can laugh about today, but in the moment I was like, yeah, I don't know if I'm getting that job. And well, I did not get the job at the time until, I want to say, maybe like February or January last year. They called me, I think it was February. Yeah, I got a call that, hey, the position is open again, are you interested? And I was like, yeah, very much desperate to get up out of here. Obviously I didn't say that, but that's how I was feeling at the time. So I took the opportunity and I left my government job. That was one update. I was like, okay, the year is starting off good. I finally got a new job. Okay, top of the year, we're going good. About to be making more money. About to set some plans that I had in motion, because financially now, obviously the pay was better. Financially now we can make something shake. Until, let's say, about 2 weeks before I was supposed to start a new job, I got into a terrible car accident. Thankfully, no one was hurt, and the car that I was driving had like a malfunction with the brakes, and I crashed, not into another car, thankfully, but I kind of swerved and just kind of crashed into a wall instead of hitting the car in front of me, and that was the catalyst for stress in my life. Like, honestly, I felt like if the devil was attacking me, like, who walking over on me? Who? Because I didn't really tell much people that I got a new job. Like, I barely even told my last job that I got a new job, and that's a story for another day. But yeah, I got into this terrible accident, and I was like, bruh, as I get some good news, is like, who is plotting against me? Financially, that kind of set me back a lot, and that came with, you know, just a lot of, I'm trying to explain without over-explaining or oversharing, but yeah, it just came with a lot of financial stress. Yeah, so that happened, and then, well, I proceeded to start my new job, of course, and the job, it started off like, it was a lot. Like, the workload was different, but I wouldn't even use different to describe it. The workload was a lot more than what I was doing before, which I don't mind. But it was a combination of a lot of work, and then I also am new to this, so I haven't mastered per se or have the practice of doing these things under my belt. So the first couple of months was rough for me, was stressful. So apart from the stress from the accident and all the financial fallout of that, I'm also happy, you know, that I got this new job, but then I am stressed and tired of trying to keep up with, you know, this new job, this workload. Like, life was happening, life was a lot. So we are a year, a little more than a year, so let's say a year plus later, and obviously I'm still working there. I have mastered a lot of, I wouldn't even say mastered, but I've gotten used to the work a lot more comfortable with doing a lot of the tasks. So there's that, and then my role has also kind of shifted a bit, which has helped me to be a little less stressed and frustrated, and, well, I'll still be tired, but yeah, that's that. Fast forward to like maybe October, my family and I decided that, hey, we're gonna go, well, they want to go to St. Vincent for Christmas, and I was like, you know what, let me book that flight and take this trip, because this year has been so stressful. Like, I just need a little runaway, I just need a little getaway. So that was that. So if you haven't seen my St. Vincent and the Grenadines travel vlog, you should go check it out. It's probably the video before this one, so yeah, go and watch it, shameless plug. And yeah, that vacation was just, although on that vacation I dropped my phone in the water on the beach. While we were on the beach, I was trying to film some content. My phone was on my tripod and it tipped over into the water on the beach, and I mashed up my phone on vacation. Like, who is walking over on me? But yeah, I mashed up my phone on vacation. So part of the trip was a bit, a little sour vibes. I immediately ordered a new phone because I was like, this phone going through. I'm not going to be back in Trinidad in time to get it fixed to see if it, it's probably going to be out of commission completely by the time I get it checked out, which it was. And well, as I said, it was Christmas time in St. Vincent, so this happened on Christmas Eve. The next day was Christmas Day, which is a holiday. The following day was Boxing Day, which is a holiday. So I couldn't even, get it checked out in St. Vincent in time because places were closed. Ain't nobody trying to hear about my phone when they're trying to eat their Christmas dinner, and so that was that. That's something that also happened. I feel like my storytelling is all over the place, but I hope you're following. Okay, so fast forward to now, a couple months later, and I have some news to share. That great news is that I am moving. I am moving out. Well, at this point, I've already moved out and I'm currently in my new spot. But yeah, this was a goal of mine that I previously mentioned, that I absolutely needed to get a new job in order to achieve this goal, because ain't no way I was able to afford rent and life and everything else on that public servant salary. No offense, but I didn't see it being possible without me probably completely struggling. So I wanted to move out and I wanted to comfortably afford moving out, which is why certain things need to be in place before I do so. I need to have a certain amount of money saved, which I mostly achieved, and the new job. So when the new job happened, I was like, okay, yeah, we could start to look for a place, make things shake. I was also, so I've been wanting to move for like 4 years now. I have been buying things to move, as in buying my dinnerware set. Like I used to visit like Price Mart and different home stores, and I would buy things and just, according as Trinis would say, buy and put on. So I would buy things and basically store them away for when I get my first apartment and when I move out. So this moving out means so much to me. Not just because I was preparing for it for a long time, but because of it just dates back to like my childhood. Not just to give a little context, but not to divulge too much. I had a semi-tumultuous childhood, and it resulted in me moving around a lot. And I can't tell you how much times I moved, but it also resulted in me living by a lot of people. So I would live by my grandmother, by my dad. I lived with my sister at one point in time. I had a traumatizing roommate situation, which was also like a family thing. So I just living with this family, that family, here with this auntie, and I just felt like I never had a place to call home. I never had a place where I was completely comfortable and settled. And yeah, although in some places, they did make me feel welcome and welcome me, some things come to a point where like you could tell that you kind of overstay your welcome in some places, and that energy is felt, especially when you're a child. Like you can tell, well, I feel so. As an adult you could tell as well, but like As a child, it's like, okay, you know. While I was younger, like in my teenage years, going through this, I always told myself that, hey, when I become an adult, get older, start working, whatever, I want to be at a point where I am making enough money, I am successful enough to curate a space for myself, as I said, to call home, to not feel like I'm overstaying a welcome at somebody else's home. And another thing that comes with like living with people, even if they're family, it's like because you are in somebody else's space, you have to be subject to whatever that comes with. So in terms of, it might have things that you don't necessarily like, but hey, you live in people's house, you have to deal with it, or you have to take it, or certain treatments sometimes, let's be real, certain treatment that would come with staying by people, the way people treat you when you are basically at their mercy, vulnerable to them, vulnerable to the situation. And I always told myself that, hey, I want to be able to create a space for myself where, as I said, I'm fully comfortable, this is mine, I don't have to worry about anybody treating me any kind of way. I don't want to have to worry if, I'm going to have to potentially find somewhere else to live or have to move and be put in another uncomfortable situation. Like now, if I have to move, it will also be maybe to another apartment that will also be my space. I'm big on I'm a creative person, so I always wanted to have like a room or a space that I could decorate and make my own in terms of home decor. And because you're living with people, it's like you can't really do that as well. So another thing that came with not having my own space was me struggling with content creation, like not having a space to properly film the way I wanted to. Like I basically put like a piece of cloth on one of the walls in the old room that I was staying in, and that was my backdrop. So the white backdrop that you would have seen in previous videos was that cloth, and it was literally like a piece of the wall in the room. It was a small space with other furniture, so it was a bit difficult for me to film like full body stuff. Like I would want to do fashion reels and things like that, and it's like I don't have the space. I just didn't have the space to create. Even my last like full body fashion video, which was the stockings video, I had to ask a friend to come by the house to film it, and I've done that in the past, especially with YouTube when I want to do hair videos. I didn't have a suitable shower situation for me to set up and film. So like let's say I want to film like a wash day, that just wasn't possible. Me doing content was just very limited, and I felt like I have the potential to do so much when it comes to content creation, when it comes to my YouTube channel, fashion, hair, this, that. And because I didn't have the space to properly do things, I just felt so limited, and like I couldn't reach my full potential when it comes to content. Is also the reason why like I would do a lot of videos in the car because it's like, oh my god, like things like noise. And it's not just about aesthetics as well, because even if you do have the most aesthetically pleasing space, I could DIY something and transform it into something that I could work with. It's just that I didn't have like the space at all to begin with, aesthetic or not. And living with other people as well, it's just very limited. Also, not to talk down or bad about my last living situation. My last living situation was probably the best living situation I have had. This apartment or this stage in my life where I'm moving out, it means so much to me, and I, considering the things that I've been through and where I've come from to now, like, I am so proud of myself. Honestly, I'm so happy, and it's like almost surreal. It's like for the first, like, I've been here a little while now, and I want to say for like the first 2 weeks or for like the first week, every morning I wake up in here and I'm like, God, I am so grateful, I am so thankful. And it has been an ongoing thought and prayer throughout just being here and being at this point. I am so blessed, so thankful, so grateful. And it's not that I have everything figured out. I don't even have furniture. Like, I'm kind of type A sometimes, I would say. And I was very organized when it comes to my moving. I knew, like, okay, I wanted to have this amount of money saved. I need to get a new job. I'm buying things for my apartment in preparation for it. Yeah, but I just kind of reach a point where it's like, you know, like a switch just goes off in your head. I don't know if it's God or what, but I just got, you know what, yeah, now is the time. Because previously, like, I went and viewed apartment like maybe 2 years ago, loved it, the price was great. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but I was ready to move then. I mean, I was ready to move 4 years ago, but I don't know, the way that it happened for me now was kind of something I prayed for it to be smooth, easy, no set of issues with getting a place. I wanted a really nice landlord, which I do have. And like I said, I don't have everything figured out. Currently, I'm starting with the basics, the bare minimum, plus the things that I would have bought prior to moving out, and we're gonna work our way up. I'm going to, you know, furnish and decorate my home room by room. Okay, I'm about to build this shit brick by brick, and I'm excited to take you along with me. I think I'm gonna call my moving series, my moving diaries, my apartment diaries, a place called home, as you would have probably heard me say throughout this video, because that's truly what it means to me, and that's what I want to create this space to be. God is so good. Once he sees you like putting in the work to get where you want to be, like, you will feel like you are working towards this grinding, whatever, pray, and obviously you have to put in the work. You can't just pray and not do anything about it. Well, once you're praying and you're putting in the work, one day you're gonna wake up and realize that, wait, I'm in an answered prayer. Like, wait, wasn't I just praying for this to happen? And it's like your reality could change within a week, within hours, within a day. Like, that's just how God works. But that's it for this video. I feel like I rambled a lot, but hopefully editing Javette could piece it all together well. I hope you subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Like, do you want to see all the moving content, all the home decor and stuff that's about to come, or not? Follow me on Instagram as well while you're at it. And yeah, bye, see you guys next time.